Good evening and welcome to the Conservation Commission meeting for Monday, July 26th. I think we're going to be all in person tonight, but if anybody needs to zoom in, we will get notified. But as now, it's all live. So we'll open the meeting with any public comments. And Jim isn't here for...
You can do the Fairway Lane. That doesn't have a time.
Okay. Jane, you want to update us on Fairway Lane?
Well, the new homeowner, the new lot owner, has requested that it be, more trees be cut. So you would say that, and I was not ready for this yet. And he is here. You can step up to the plate and give an explanation if you like.
Right.
I forwarded it to all of you.
Please.
Yep.
And just for the record, your name?
My name is Chris Michelle.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, owner of 45 Fairway Lane. And yeah, my wife and I would like to request some additional tree clearing that gets within or approaches about 50 feet on the west side towards the wetland delineation. Right now, it's been cleared from 100 feet out. And in this, I don't know if everyone has this. This is what I submitted with the letter. The filled-in orange piece delineates the area that we would like to get some additional clearing for the addition to properly install a tennis court in the backyard, as well as have some space for some extensive vegetable gardening. And yeah, my understanding with the town bylaws regarding wetlands is, we can't go within 25 feet, but I understand your jurisdiction is from 100 to 25, and so, yeah, I don't know if I need to get more detailed. I'm happy to, but that's the general request.
Okay. Jane, you haven't been able to get out there to look at it?
I've seen it before.
Oh, yeah, I think we all have, but...
Last time I
I'd
was
like
out there,
fresh
I
eyes
saw
on it.
how much had been cut,
Okay,
and I don't know this particular area that he is proposing to cut, but it is...
that's the reason why I'd like to get fresh eyes on it if I could.
Okay.
I hate to just give a carte blanche without getting out there and looking at it.
Well, the thing is, it's, okay, as I wrote in my agent's report, according to the DEP wetland amendment policy, which Diana looked up for me, it's in here. And basically, it's DEP policy for amending an order of conditions, 85-4 is the policy number. It's at the discretion of the issuing authority, you.
Yeah.
And so the applicant makes the request for an amendment by submitting the request in writing, which he's done. You first make a determination whether the change is great enough to warrant the filing of a new notice of intent, or is of a relatively minor nature and can be considered an amendment to the order. Consider such factors as whether the purpose of the project has changed, the scope of the project has increased, the project meets relevant performance standards, and the potential for adverse impacts to the protected statutory interests will be increased.
And in a nutshell, that's the reason why I want fresh eyes on it.
In a nutshell, that's why I want fresh eyes on it. Okay. Then this is not a hearing per se, it's just a request. A letter request. So then I guess everyone should probably get out to see the site. Could you mark off the area of additional clearing that you want to do? Or is it marked off already?
Yeah, it should be marked off already by the orange. So I don't think he went to the 25-foot border, but I believe the orange fence he has up marks off the 50-foot, the area that we're requesting. So
And
nothing's
who
been
marked-
cleared there.
Who
but
marked it off?
The builder, Jim Lenahan.
Jim did? Okay.
Yep.
Is he qualified to measure from the wetlands?
I don't know.
Okay, that's the question I think that we need answered. Is the wetlands, are they still flagged? And if not, we could verify the wetlands and
I
the
think it's pretty
distance.
easy to see because it's basically at the bottom of the slope,
Yeah, okay.
except there is a ponded area that qualifies as a vernal pool, as I had said in the early on stages.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that needs a little more protection or if it's anywhere near what he is proposing, honestly.
Okay.
Have the posts been put in delineating the 25-foot?
Yes, I believe they have.
The bounds, concrete bounds have been put in?
Oh, the concrete bounds, no, I didn't, I thought you just meant stakes or, I don't know of any concrete bounds.
Because the edge that's along the wetland is supposed to have concrete bounds installed along it before you get a certificate of compliance, which would remove the encumbrance of the odor from your deed at the Registry of Deeds.
Okay.
Okay?
So on the sheet that you gave us, there are the little dots, like if you look right at your red mark there,
Yep.
there are little black dots that are following the contours of it.
Yeah.
That very small print says concrete bounds. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them that I can see off of this.
Additional ones had been requested. I think they're probably on here.
45 on there.
That's a complicated, that's why this is confusing. It's actually subdividing 43 to create 45.
I see it.
The original were in the plans.
Yep.
And then he requested more.
Yeah, I remember the details on this.
Requested area of more clearing. Maintaining 50 feet from the wetlands.
Here. What type of tennis court is it? Is it going to be tar or is it going to be stone dust?
It's gonna be an asphalt,
Asphalt.
that's topped with a 6 millimeter,
Much of a fight.
kind of a best way I know how to describe it is kind of like a little mat or a cushion. It provides a cushion service, but it's a 6 millimeter mat rolled over
Do you know?
asphalt.
Do you know if the asphalt allows it to seep down, the water to go through it permeable?
Relationship to where it is.
I would doubt it, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I could find out.
Yeah, I think if
Corner.
water would seep down
This is
there.
what was proposed and denied.
Well, they have asphalt that does that.
That was the
Well, I
original
know
time
it.
he came in.
But on a tennis
I've
court,
lost
I think that
count
would.
out.
Yeah,
Actually.
why I wanted,
But
because
the
I know
water
we had gone back
increase
there,
and
we
the
pushed the house out
asphalt
and back further
Yeah.
up.
And the
Unless
house is
it's
actually
I would say it probably.
They do-
drainage
It
system
was
underneath
back
it.
here, we built it up. They do it for roads now, but,
Yeah.
okay.
But that's the reason
Yeah,
why,
Different one.
Messed up
you
the
know,
foundation.
you're
Oh.
driving down the road, the white stripes are frequently
20.
all plumped up because that was,
Oh,
the water.
It's underneath them and
used
pushes
special
them up.
paint and it went in and water got in there and
Push it right
pumped it
up.
right up.
Because they did cut more, I think.
Quick question, is it just a singles court or is it a full-size doubles court that you're proposing to put in?
A full size, so I understand it's the 60 by 120 fence line around the court.
Okay.
So I believe that's a full size court.
Now, is that staked out at all?
Not right now, no.
Okay. I think it would be helpful if you just mark the corner, have the corners marked, so
The fence line.
when we come out, we can actually see
Okay.
what we're looking at.
You want to see the total footprint of the,
Yeah,
Court.
so
Yep.
the corners of the tennis court stake it out and also the 50-foot,
Yeah,
whatever,
clear area, yeah,
The
the
area being
proposed area.
requested?
yeah.
Okay.
the area he requested.
yeah, I mean, so we had basically said that's the limit, so if
Right.
they want to do something that.
Right.
And we did request the
Because of
cement
this.
posts on this?
Yeah,
That,
there's,
what I
I think
recall, anyways.
it was counted about 8 or 9. Peter, how many posts did you count there?
What do you say?
C9,
Yeah, it looks like 9.
I thought that there were like 15 for some reason or other in my head.
I think they had signs on them too, didn't they? 'Cause why put it in the post if you don't have a sign saying?
Yeah, right.
Let me look at the order.
I think these,
Can I ask what a concrete, just for my own information, a concrete bound is? Is it just a stake of concrete in the ground or
Yeah,
a
it's about a
post?
4-inch with a metal rod in the middle of it.
It should be in your order of conditions.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Special conditions, it actually talks about boundary examples. Could have sworn there was something in there about, let's see.
Bob, it's, here's in the older minutes, that there was a denial of
15.
extending the backyard.
Prior to
Yeah.
requesting a
Yeah.
final certificate,
And there was a
15
reason
bounds
for it,
need to be
and-
installed.
The reason, well, it was, if I recall correctly, he was anticipating
So the
without it,
approval for clearing was at the
and that
planning
was
board?
even before the house was
So
even
you gotta stick
started.
with that.
So I know I went out there and looked at it then. and
No, I understand
We didn't
that, but-
allow it, but that's the reason why I say I want fresh eyes on it now. But,
And then part of his activity, proposed activity is gonna be within a 100-foot buffer.
Yeah,
And originally we
Those changes.
said that, no, it couldn't be expanded with abutters here.
yeah,
So there's another reason to look at this. And where is that vernal pool?
yeah.
And it's the boundaries of protection in relationship to what is gonna be disturbed.
Surface.
Vernal pool might be a little dry now, but
Yeah,
it's there. I was there with Jane
Yeah.
walking it.
Yeah.
so what'd you find out over there with the order of conditions? The number of posts,
15,
15,
15.
okay,
There should be 15 there.
all right,
That's what it states in here.
Goes on both lots.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Both lots?
Yeah.
I don't recall. I thought it was mostly for this lot, and maybe for the other as well. Was it for the other as well? Okay.
Remember, because of the wet seep area came,
They restored that area.
yeah,
Okay.
or have they restored that area?
They have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's wet and it's looking good.
yeah, it's streaming very nicely, yeah.
So if you want us to go out and see it, I know we're all busy and have different times, and the DEP's order of conditions says any time, reasonable time, the commission or the agent can go out and visit. You said you wanted permission from whoever goes to visit it. But
Yeah,
that
I
makes
would- I
life a
would-
lot different, more difficult because you're not even there.
I'll make it a priority to be there. So if I just get a little heads up, I would just like to be present at the time of observing.
Because what we normally do is we just kind of come and go as we have a chance.
As the landowner, I would appreciate a heads up, and I'll make it a point to be there.
You're not living there right now?
I'm not, no. Nope.
Okay, so.
I'm about a 45-minute drive away,
So we want to do a site visit?
some days closer.
I'm available this week. If you and I want to go out there with anybody else.
Yeah, I'm around this
Yep.
week too.
I'm gone next week, so.
No. Are you available, what's your best time, Rich?
I can do this week almost any day. Any day in the mornings are better, but I can do any time.
Rebecca?
I can't do Wednesday, but anything else.
Do you want the tennis court area staked out first before coming out?
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be preferable.
So that isn't done yet, but I can communicate that with the builder and we can get that done.
Okay. All right, why don't, okay. Thursday? Can you make Thursday, Rebecca?
It kind of depends on the time. I just,
Do you think you can have it done by Thursday?
Can I confirm that via an email?
This, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Can you make Thursday?
I can do Thursday, yeah.
Jeff?
Thursday morning, I think I can do that.
Okay, David? Okay. All right, let's tentatively plan it. And Diana, again, that'll give us time to post it again.
I'll have to post it tomorrow no matter what, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but
Yep.
I need 48 hours, so I have to post it
Yeah.
tomorrow morning. So what time you want to go? Like 8, 9?
I don't know, set a time.
I have a 10 o'clock Zoom meeting.
before
8:30?
11 would be helpful for me.
Say 10 o'clock? Is that right?
I just said I have a 10 o'clock Zoom meeting.
Oh,
So earlier is better.
The DEP.
9?
mean, I-
9?
I can make 9, yeah, yeah.
9?
I can make mine.
9? 9?
Does that give you enough time to post it?
Yeah, I just have to post it tomorrow morning.
Okay, she gets in at 8:30. We got that. Okay, so we'll tentatively set that for 9 o'clock Thursday, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the record, can you just give us your name?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, Chris McPhail.
Chris McPhail?
Chris McPhail, yep.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Grant Street was opened and continued correctly.
Yeah, they had asked for continuance, so we opened and immediately continued. We noticed.
Okay. So being 7:10, we have 31 Granite Street, Assessors Map 78, Parcel 22. Mr. Buckley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For the record, my name is Bill Buckley from Bay Colony Group, and I'm here representing the applicant Cobra Construction. And what we have this evening is a notice of intent filed with the commission for the demolition of an existing home and the construction of a new home at 31 Granite Street. The construction will include a new septic system and grading, a portion of which will lie within the buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland. So I'm going to just put up here, share my screen here. You should have I passed out a small copy of the rendering I'm just going to put up here. That's my wife. She's very pretty. Yeah. And how's that? That's good. Okay. So that is a terrible screen. So I'm going to complain to Bill Keegan about that, but we had this problem with the planning board too. You can see it much better on the back there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. That's better. So this is the lot. I know it's hard to see, but if you look, I'm going to show you on the screen here, and you can look down at your drawing. You can see the smaller house that kind of sits, maybe halfway into the middle of the bigger home, which is going to be built on the site. You can see the wetland, the 100-foot buffer zone kind of runs in this orange line. It's kind of a wavy shape through the lot. There's BVW that surrounds the whole lot. It was flagged by Ecotech. And in the appendix to your report is his report on the wetlands. So it's BVW, we've located it. And as you can see, most of the lot lies within the 100-foot buffer zone. And we are trying to, when we rebuilt this house, we pushed it as close as possible to the street. So you can see that actually this house is closer to the street. I know you can't see it there, but if you look on your drawing, the house is closer to the new house is closer to the street than the old house. And the new house is, the rear of it has less in the buffer zone than the old house. So the amount of impervious for the new construction will be less than what is there now. At its closest point, the house will be about 95 feet from the BVW. We'll be altering about 19 square feet to build the house. So as you can see, it's very minimal activity in to build the home. So there's a total of about 5,500 square feet of buffer zone being altered by the construction, and at its closest point, it'll be 44 feet from the wetlands. It's important to note, again, I know you can't see it, but if you look on your drawing, you can see the purple. So the purple is the heavy purple line that runs around the back. That is the silt fence we're going to be putting up there. And as you can see on the left and the right, as you're looking at the drawing, it's on the edge of the fence, of the tree line. The tree line is that wavy line that goes along the back. So this backyard is all grass, okay, already. And what we'll be doing is not going any further than what has already been altered. We're not cutting down any trees back there, except for the trees that are in the middle of the grass that we have to take down for the septic system, but we're not going into the tree line at all. We've met with the planning, with the Board of Health, because the septic system is less than 150 feet away from the wetland, which is the wetlands protection, with the local wetland bylaw requirement, but is also the local Board of Health bylaw requirement. We had to go see the Board of Health and request a waiver from that. And the reason for that is because, as you can see, as I pointed out earlier, the house is really, the lot is really small. The wetlands take up a large portion of it, and it wouldn't be physically possible to put the septic system more than 150 feet away. Even if we flopped the septic system and put it in the front, that would move the house much closer to the wetlands, and we'd be taking up a lot of the backyard. So if you kind of flop the house with the field in the back, that would kind of give you a feel for it. So we thought it would be best to put it in, move the house out of it. The septic system would be crushing and filling the existing cesspool, which is in the backyard already, or more along the side yard, and put that system there. The Board of Health did approve it. They did ask us to make one change, and that was they wanted us to put a polyvinyl barrier around the outside of the system, which we did do. So this system will be where it is, but it will also have a 0.4 mil, which is pretty thick plastic, around the outside of it on the three sides that face the rear. So that will also provide further protection, any migration of effluent toward the wetland. You almost never see breakout, excuse me, you almost never see breakout of effluent on the surface like that. Usually if you see breakout, it's over the system because it's failed. It's stopped working anymore. But this definitely will provide some additional protection if that situation ever came to pass. So I think I'll stop right now and ask for any questions.
Yeah, my thought was flipping it and putting this leach and fuel in the front of the house, since it's a complete tear down and rebuild. But
Well,
Yep.
I visited the site this morning, and I was looking at this, scratching my head, thinking it was more flat than it is. And there's quite a steep, you can
Yeah.
kind of see it on the sides. The back
after
part
the
does not have.
blackberries, it drops off.
Exactly, after the what?
The blackberries.
Okay.
You didn't pick any?
No. No, I was watching for poison ivy.
Oh, okay.
That's what you get.
But you can kind of see how steep it is on the two sides, but the back doesn't have the topo line, so it kind of gives you the idea that it's flat, but it's not. It's quite distinctly different. And I went out there today while Scott was starting to do a little bit of work around there, and he had the silt sock up.
Okay.
Although it seems to me, wasn't it, never mind. I don't think it was I think it was hay filled, was it? You know?
It's supposed to be a mulch-filled silt sock. That's what
Thought
it
it
says on
was.
the plan.
I thought it was, but the hay field is out there now. Are they going to put another one?
Well, if it's hay, it's no good.
I know.
So
Yeah.
you can put a mulch-filled silt sock if that's not what he has already.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I may be wrong. I
But-
didn't take pictures.
To point out, just to talk to what Jane just said, yes, when you hit the wood line in the back there, on the left and right, it really drops off. But we're only filling, if you look at the grades in the back, look at your plan, you can't see it on that. So if you look in the back, say directly behind the house, it's about, behind the leaching field, around test hole 1. That's elevation 286 or such. And you can see there right now, the heavier lines are the finished grades. We're at 286, 287. So it's not a big fill. As I said, we're not going outside the tree line, which is the area that it gets really steep. I'm guessing, this is just a guess, that back in the day, this was just a filled lot. Somebody just filled it in. And to create this Although the soils are good, we didn't see any indications of fill. So maybe it's just a peninsula, I don't know. But there really is not, in the backyard, we're not filling a lot what is there. Maybe, 1 foot, 2 feet tops.
Bill, what's the square footage of the current house that's there, to the foundation, roughly?
There's a current house and a garage and
Have any by
a large
38.
paved driveway, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did drive by, I was just trying to get an idea of foot, like,
Maybe 2,200 square feet
okay.
is the footprint. And the house itself, there's that thing that goes off the left, that's nothing. But the main house itself has 2 stories. So that thing off to the left is just a 1-story addition. The garage, we're showing it staying there. I don't know if it's going to or not. It's pretty big.
Oh,
And you're putting a two-family in, correct?
Yes, it'll be 2-family, 4-bedroom house. Garage in the front.
So,
And this is-
so the garage is gonna be in the front of the house? So you drive in right there? Okay.
Yes.
Is there any way to move to, like, if that concrete driveway or the existing garage is gone, put septic there, or is that too close to the boundary or other issues?
Well, if that garage goes away, the concrete driveway's gonna go away.
Right.
Not gonna do anything with it. We can just loam and seed it. But last time I talked to the developer, he wasn't sure what he was gonna do with that. But I mean, we could put a note or a condition on that if that's what you want. I mean, you would anyways. You wouldn't just leave a driveway there to nowhere.
Right.
I don't understand how the garages will be entered. It looks kind of like the garage, from what I can see. It looks
Yeah.
like there's only one side garage with a teeny tiny little
Yeah,
entrance.
let me see if I have. I know I do. You know what? I don't.
Oh, are the garages in the middle?
The garages are in the middle and they're
Oh, okay, okay.
and they're in the front. So it's like a lot of duplexes, what they do is they put the garages touching each other, so
There's a buffer.
yes, that's exactly what it is. I thought I had the house plans in here.
No, I can see it now. It looked earlier like there was just a skinny little driveway that went off to the side.
Yeah, no, it's,
Need my
I had
contacts
the
and my
house plans,
glasses.
I guess. I do.
Looks like this is a
That's what I was
long
thinking,
one.
but I think.
And then
driveway's
this looked
coming
funky.
next.
So you would just drive in the
Driveway's-
front. And again, if you look at the
It
house,
says between the
only the
driveway.
a small
yeah, I
portion
know.
of the right rear corner
I agree with
is in the buffer zone. The rest of the house is outside of the buffer zone.
But after looking, I think he's saying this is the garage.
Really, the only thing that's in the buffer zone for the most part is the septic and the grading.
That's what it is, it's topography. I was reading the topography as
Yeah.
being the driveway, which did not make any sense whatsoever.
287,
Okay.
280, that's 287.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what it
Yep,
is.
Yep,
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense.
yep. Yeah, I was just wondering if there's space where that existing garage and driveway is for any septic work, instead of in the back.
And really not, because you can see how big the septic is. And the septic has to be 20 feet off the house and 10 feet off the sideline. So in that particular case, I think in that whole area there, we have roughly a little bit over 40 feet. So you couldn't fit, you could maybe put one trench in there.
Yep.
It's not as drastic as it looks. I was surprised. It's misleading.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, I
Right,
mean,
Jenny?
from here.
I was out there, I mean, the whole backyard has been disturbed before. It's not as if it's a pristine area.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that.
And, with the barrier, not that disturbed with the whole thing. I think putting the house in the back is gonna encourage people to push back
Stand
further
further,
to
yeah.
the,
Yeah, that's true.
so I don't have a problem with that. way it's presented.
Rebecca?
I don't have any comments at the moment.
James?
Are you guys gonna put any fencing back there?
I
Anything
don't
to,
think so.
no, not along the 25, or
No, it's,
it's just gonna be existing? It's gonna remain that way? Okay. No, I don't have anything else.
David? Peter?
No.
Jeff?
Nope, no more.
Nothing more. Jane, anything else?
No.
What was that, Diana? Were you signaling me or no? Oh, okay, I saw, I saw some movement over there.
Bob, is there limits of construction fencing going up? Like a disturbance out there? Has it been put up yet, or is it?
Jane said there was something's put up out there. I mean, I'll go out and look at it, and if it's not the silt sock, then we'll just tell him he has to put up mulch
Yeah, I
filled
remember.
silt sock.
I didn't really look closely at it. I wasn't thinking about that because it hadn't been approved and stuff yet, but it seems to me it was a yellowish color, and
That's hay, yeah.
that sounds, yeah.
I thought it was black.
That doesn't work.
Well, maybe you're right. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I got a picture of it.
I've been wrong before. You did take pictures? I brought my camera, but I didn't take pictures.
I got one picture, I think.
Typical.
We did get an order from the DEP. We did receive a number from the DEP, and there was no comments, and we did get all the green cards back, and I gave them to Diane.
Okay.
Was it black?
Black, yeah.
Oh, good. That's probably fine.
The exterior is definitely black.
All right,
I
I'm
didn't look.
hallucinating.
Okay. So, sorry, I missed the number. What was the number?
It's
Or you just said you had a number. so-
1570608,
608.
and we got all the cards back.
Okay. Anything else, Jane?
No,
Okay.
No.
Someone want to make a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the hearing for 31, is it Granite?
Granted, yep.
Yep.
Yeah. NOI 157-TBD.
Oh, 608.
608.
Second
Where do
that.
you see the 60?
Well,
You just
Oh,
told us.
oh,
He just gave it to us.
he just gave it to us. Discussion? All in favor of closing the hearing?
Aye.
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 Opposed? None?
Did you have someone second it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Marsh did.
Gotta prove my hearing, I guess.
Thank you.
Great,
Speak louder.
thank you very much.
7:15, we have a continuation of 130 Moore Street, 157605.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Mark Arnold with Goddard Consulting here on behalf of the applicant. Steve David is here as well. In addition, Matt Watsky, counsel for the applicant, is also online via Zoom should he be needed. I am set up to connect with Zoom here, but I'm not sure if the commission is fine with just the boards. I know the commission saw the boards pretty
I think the
closely
board
earlier.
is a lot easier to follow.
Great, and if I need to bring this closer, just let me know. So again, Mark Arnold with Goddard Consulting, we presented this plan to the commission at the previous meeting. We conducted a site walk after that meeting to review the site conditions, walking the limit of the existing disturbance, showing how the project has been designed to stay within the existing disturbance of the riverfront area, which is the key point when it comes to redevelopment standards. And again, our goal was to minimize disturbance, prevent existing disturbance from being expanded. We provided some restoration of the riverfront down in this area here, as shown in our restoration plan. And we do believe this is a significant improvement to the riverfront area, and including BLSF, which we provide compensatory storage, as shown in our submittal, which provides significant mitigation to the area that we believe is substantial to the resource areas that the commission is seeking to protect. We did provide the commission this afternoon a plan showing the bounds that are present or will be present on the property based on the notes on this corner here. I do have 2 copies, Jane.
Okay. Thank you.
The purpose of this plan was to show the existing bounds. There's a concrete bound that was found here. There's a bound here. Plans note iron pins being set at these 2 points and this point here. And then the notes do say that the all existing monuments to be field verified by a registered land surveyor, all property corners to have iron pins with caps set by a registered land surveyor prior to the start of project. And the purpose of that, again, was to establish the property lines along here and here for the commission, as the commission owns the area here, and then along this property as well. That's really all the new information that I believe we need to present to the commission at this time.
It was an interesting site walk, and I think everybody except
I missed it.
was out of town, so it was very insightful and so very good. Since you weren't there, Rich, do you have any questions?
I got out there today, but the building is to, if you're looking at it from the street, is going to be what, the left side, is that right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, there it is, all right. Yeah, that's what I thought was staked out, okay.
And the existing structure is
Other side of it,
right there.
yeah.
And you didn't color up the floodplain, did you, or did you?
On this plan, I did not. It is, the existing floodplain is right here. And then the proposed floodplain is here, follows up here, follows the edge of the building, comes around, and ties back in. So basically, we've expanded the floodplain around the building. We've also provided additional compensatory storage over here where those piles were as well.
It looked, you expanded it around the building? It looked like you were making it smaller around the building, maybe?
Well, we're making, I guess.
Your finger.
We're making the area, we're making the area outside the floodplain smaller. So the area inside this line is outside the floodplain. So I'm outside the floodplain here. I'm in the floodplain here, 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 down here. So it's an island in the floodplain, and we're making the island smaller, which creates more area for the floodplain.
And you have compensatory flood storage?
So there's compensatory flood storage in that area and also in this area right here.
Okay.
Everything else is basically set into the existing topography, so that way we have these basins that have full capacity even in the floodplain.
And you're excavating to drop that, or to make that floodplain smaller?
Exactly, yep. So we're just opening up the grading right in here with with a slight little valley, basically, that creates the ability for floodwaters as it comes up this way to fill in more at those elevations.
But as far as the building goes, what's to keep, why is the floodplain shrinking?
Well, first of all, it's always to the benefit of the resource area to
No, I get that. What are you doing to accomplish that?
So we're making cuts. We're basically in floodplain. You don't want to fill. You want to make cuts.
Right. Yeah.
So the idea is we have a cut here. We have a cut here. We have a cut all around this building
Okay.
to create that floodplain.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're excavating, getting
Exactly. Yep.
David?
If I recall, we had asked, a couple of us asked another bound to be in a little bit further down that line before you get to the red line there above that isolated area.
Yeah, I spoke with the surveyor about that, and the concern is installing a marker that would be a surveyor bound. It's not really on a property corner.
It's going to get hit.
That could possibly get disturbed or something else. And again, it's not on a property corner, and that's what that was some concern there. So that's why the plan only had them here and here. But with those in place, it is very easy to place signage along this property line should the commission seek to do that, just to, again, demarcate the conservation land.
How about after the work is done and you've got final grading in it, that you go back and put something in there?
You
You-
looking for signage, David, or?
No, I put a
Talking
bound in
about
there.
a conservation bond?
No, I'm just talking about, you're gonna be putting iron pins in. A few of us asked that one be put a little bit further in or a little bit further down so that we can see right across exactly where the property is in relationship to whoever buys this or takes it over or whatever happens.
Yeah, I understand. I don't see a problem with that.
So we could definitely do that if
After
that's,
the
if-
dirt work is
af-
done.
yeah.
After all the grading is
yeah,
done.
after the grading is done,
Yeah.
this area here, it could be placed in, and as long as it's understood that it may not be, it's not a property bound corner, because it's
Right.
not, it's gonna be
No.
along an existing lot line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anything else, David?
No, that was,
Jim?
Nope, I'm all set.
Jane, any final thoughts, questions?
Well, you did discuss restoring part of the riverfront area. And then we discussed the pros and cons of doing it.
Yes.
Because they were, I don't know, 6x6s, or they're telephone poles, basically, or train track.
They're train
rails.
ties.
Shield ties that had probably been there for quite a while and had leached out whatever they're going to leach out.
Yeah, that document is a separate document that we submitted to the commission, so if the commission wants to adopt that document, which is basically supervision by a wetland scientist, equipment staged inside the erosion control line, so no equipment going outside the actual area where there's disturbance supposed to happen, and the goal was to either remove that debris by hand or to use a chain to help loosen it to be able to get it out again, so that way there's basically no digging really into the actual soil. It's just at the toe of the slope right in here, it's not a large disturbance, and the idea was to seed it and plant it with trees and shrubs. If the commission does not want us to adopt that, they don't have to accept that in the order. You could just leave it off. It's not on the plans at all, and that was deliberate, so that way it would be under this wetland supervision of the scientist. The contractor wouldn't just go do it by himself without supervision, which is a concern of ours, and that's why we presented it that way. So again, if that commission decides that that's not necessary, that the markers are sufficient for what you think is there, needed to protect those areas, we're fine with that.
I appreciate your reasoning. It makes a lot of sense, very logical. We have to remember that for future filings.
So anything else? So I want to make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing for 130 Moore Street, NOI 157-605.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you very much. We'll get
Thank you.
an order of
Thank you, members of
conditions
the
out
board.
to you. Do we have any minutes we want to approve?
I sent a bunch out this afternoon late.
I
that
didn't
thought
get a
I'd
chance
sent
to look at
before.
them this afternoon, but.
Also, before you, or after you talk about that, you should discuss quickly findings for the order of conditions I'm going to put together, and that's why I sent around this lovely riverfront area that has the redevelopment regs at number 5. Number 5, I mean, I can take a guess at it, but it would be nice to hear your input on that.
What was the question? I didn't.
Basically, we need, I would do at the very beginning of the order, the project description, and then the commission's findings regarding a redevelopment of a previously disturbed riverfront area. Which I can wing it if you like, ACD. I think they basically have complied with everything.
Yeah, anything they do out there, well, I won't say anything, but just about anything they do will improve the site tremendously. Because right now it's a horrendous mess.
So it does talk about restoration under redevelopment regs, and it
Yeah.
says it shall include removal of all debris but retaining any trees or other mature vegetation, grading of topography. I think if you get into all that, it may cause more problems than it's worth. Well. So I think you probably should decide whether that we should include the restoration as part of this project, as part of the approved project. And then I'll just kind of paraphrase all the rest of the ones that apply. Under 310 CMR 1058 5, redevelopment within previously developed riverfront area. Basically, like I said, they comply with all of it. The only thing about the restoration is it may cause more alteration. Maybe, it could be being used as a wildlife habitat right now. I'm sure there are a lot of little mousies and salamanderies and froggies in there, so.
This document that he gave us on there, is this the things that he was talking about restoring it with? Is that part of the restoration?
I think it is. It's a separate document.
Yeah, that was his restoration plan for that area, which was separate from the proposal.
Which is good, but sometimes it's better to leave well enough alone, in my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. You're the voting members. And you saw it as well. It's not in horrible shape. I mean, once you start getting in there, I don't know, you may open up more cans of worms than are warranted because it's next to the pond, part of the river. And
But there's so much debris in there, the concrete,
well, you saw it, and it's, they've got the pictures, so it's your decision. I really feel, I'd go either way. I don't have any real strong opinion either way.
I think it would be good if they could, get it cleaned up, personally.
Everyone else good?
That's my initial reaction,
To clean it
to
up?
clean it up.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean, it doesn't mean we haven't done a survey to see what's out there.
Well, they did somewhat. I mean, when we were out there, we saw a lot of things like my favorite multiflora rose. Multiflora rose, yes, it's an invasive.
Right.
If you disturb the soil, will it come back? Yes, with a vengeance. But it does provide good wildlife habitat, as much as my friends at the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife don't want to hear it. It's great for critters who want to get away from other critters because it's so thorny. I mean, the rabbits and the turtles and the birds all love it. So, it's a balance. Has the area kind of balanced itself out? Have those ties been there forever? Probably. Are there things living in it? We wouldn't know unless we dug it up.
No.
It's 6 of one, half dozen of another. It is an altered site, but it has tried to come back. And it has a lot of stuff like Norway maple, which I hate, but you're not going to be starting to take them out of there.
No. But I'm thinking about not so much of the growing things, but the debris that's in there, the train cross ties and the concrete and the.
It's for all of you to decide.
Hmm?
It's for all of you to decide. It could
Yeah.
cause more problems in the long run, and it could not. I mean, if they do monitor it and make sure that it is done properly, it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in restorations. I'm sorry. I'm jilted.
But this is being sold to somebody else, is that right?
I have no idea.
There's a,
I don't know if they have somebody who is
that for sale
specifically.
sign isn't for this property?
Hmm?
There was a for sale sign right there, down by the
Been
street.
there a long time,
Yeah.
in front of the conservation land.
You know if it's going to be sold immediately?
not know that question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Good answer.
It's really
I
neither
figured
here
that
nor
was the
there.
answer, but I thought I'd try anyway.
It's neither here nor there. If they do the restoration area, then I usually treat it like wetland restoration, where they require 75% survival of the plant species after 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you wait for that, and then you get a report and pictures and that sort of thing before you issue a complete certificate
yeah.
of compliance. You know, partial, if it was to be done, it should be done as the first stage, so that's an important thing to keep in mind. And any other suggestions? Yeah. Yeah, no, he had a lot of good advice, I think, and it was well thought out. I'm not convinced that those horrible, my favorite roses wouldn't just proliferate if it
Take
was
over.
disturbed.
Well, they're there now, or will it be?
Well, there's separate plants now,
Yeah.
but if you take the seed bed and you expose all of it, you're gonna have a bajillion little separate plants.
Oh.
Or you may not.
No.
It's gonna take some watching and pulling.
Do you have any preferences?
No, I can see both sides of it there,
Yep.
and I'm sure, yeah, it has its own little ecosystem at the moment. I wonder if leaving it, because it looks like a pile of stuff that was dumped there, wouldn't perhaps encourage
Maybe.
More
dumping of other things
Yeah.
there.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
So that's a concern that I would have. But I also know, yeah, once you disturb it, all the stuff you don't want to grow there, even when you're planting stuff you do want, tends to sneak in there and take over.
Well, it's a
in my
wildlife corridor in there too. I found otter sign and horse deer and
Yeah.
flying squirrel and all sorts of things going on in there that you just don't see.
Yeah, the
Right.
otter were a little bit further downstream, but.
They were a little bit, but you know that they're running up and down the whole
Oh,
thing,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
how they got
oh, yeah.
there.
They have fun, yeah.
They do.
I mean, do we just take off the top debris, you know, the stuff that's sitting on top of everything else? I mean, I don't know, and that was one of my thoughts that Rebecca said too, was like, you've got a pile that people can add to.
Well, I mean, that's a really good
Yeah.
point. I hadn't thought of that. That's a really good point.
I just feel I see that happening in places.
You're probably absolutely right.
Now, once it's been developed though, then it might be less
Or maybe more.
attractive.
Yeah.
You
But
never
it could
know.
be more too, yes.
Never know. I hear that's a somewhat of a partying space back there, according to one of the people at the site visit. So, you know, it could be that would be a wonderful place to throw all your beer cans and such.
Hmm.
You never know.
So out of these findings, Bob, I would say under 5, items A, C, F, and H should be considered.
Which one's A,
A, C,
A, C?
F, and H. A couple of the others I didn't mention is I think requires too much calculations to see if what they're doing is conforming. You know, it just makes it unnecessary, I would say, in trying to do the calculations and percentages. I think what's more important are those 4 items, but that's my opinion.
I agree. And the whole area, if you were really to look at it, is degraded, so, I mean, even the portions along the back, it was a yard and such, and it's got those railroad ties that have been dumped there. and
Yeah.
It's not pristine. Beyond, you know, downstream a little bit, it's in better shape, but there,
I'm not exactly sure what the specific area or the way it looks that you're talking about, but would it be possible to get in there and just take the stuff that's off the surface without going in and pulling ties out of the
we
building?
had talked about that, maybe even by hand.
Yeah, and just cleaning it up so you don't see the stuff on the surface without digging down and, you know, digging things up.
And when the big black snake comes out at you.
And I won't be doing it.
I don't know, those ties, well, I don't know, how much do they
I don't know the
weigh?
ties. I don't
Yeah,
recall seeing
They
them.
weigh several hundred pounds, I would think.
It's gonna require me.
So did you get, Rich, did you get this one? Rich, did you get this one?
Did he get that? He might not have.
He wasn't there.
Pulling
Wasn't
out
there.
you know, the debris that's in there.
Yeah, there was, it's mostly just the railroad ties.
he's talking about.
I think.
That's
So they're
fine.
mostly.
We didn't really venture over there because there was a lot of
That's
poison
really
ivy.
all it is.
Rebecca made a good point. I don't want an invitation to further dump back in that area. If it's just full of debris, it could be continued dumping.
Continued
Yeah.
dump, yeah.
So,
So can you write that in?
To do the restoration area as proposed.
Yep.
Okay,
I think I get a consensus on that.
all right. Maybe, well, maybe you should make a vote for the different, like David said, A, C, E, no.
A, C,
A,
F,
C,
and H.
F, and H, and just basically follow those requirements. You basically make a finding that the proposed project does this, 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 and this. And then you go into a little more detail perhaps with the restoration parts, but you may not need to because the plan that they submitted is pretty comprehensive.
Okay. So follow the plan.
And we will basically add this, this is the part that you're talking about, yeah. Add this
Yes.
to the back of the order, which I really like,
Okay.
because it's filed with the order of conditions, it's recorded at the registry, so they can't say they didn't get it. And the people down, you know, the next person to buy it or whatever,
Yeah.
can't say, oh, I never knew that. So it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And also H is important because this is, 2 years later when they're coming in for a certificate or sooner, it proves, they have to prove they've done this restoration work, number one,
Right.
and that is succeeding. So by including that information attached to the order, this also follows up H, that, okay, you didn't do this, you haven't done properly the plantings or maintained it. Because that sort of insinuates this has to be maintained, let's say that's sold 1 year from now. So whoever
Yeah.
takes it over has to maintain it.
Yep.
Yeah, prohibits further alteration within restoration mitigation area.
Yep.
Except as required to maintain it.
To
Yeah,
growing
I think it'll be
season.
good.
Okay. So do you need a motion for that now?
Sure, why not?
David, you want to make a nice motion for us?
Okay. I gotta bring something up. In the submittal of July 12th, there's a statement here. If the FCC approves the work under reasonable conditions and the applicant would accept that ruling and effectively waive the historical mill complex designation, I guess. All materials presented in here are within the express reservation of the applicant's rights to assert the historical mill complex exemption.
Oh, that's the small print. Where is that? What page?
First page of the July 12th letter submitted by Goddard.
Yeah, I scanned it too fast, clearly.
I didn't get the whole.
right, so if we approve it, and now they're waiving it, if they accept the ruling, if they're saying all materials presented herein are with the express reservation that, until that acceptance of this ruling, they're not gonna waive their right.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine with me, yeah.
Yep.
Gotta get the lawyer in there. All set then, David?
No, I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay, all right. So you want to make a motion to?
Me?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I move that we accept, what do we accept? Accept.
Accept the amendment.
The amendment, revised plans from July 12th.
We had continued hearing, right? We didn't close it.
Yeah, we closed the hearing.
Close the hearing?
Yeah, we closed the hearing.
Now we're doing the findings.
Okay, I move that we accept the revised plans, Riverfront analysis dated July 12, 2021, from Goddard Consulting concerning 130 Moore Street, notice of intent 157-605, with the additional findings on the redevelopment within previously developed riverfront areas, restoration and mitigation, items A, C, F, and H. And that the revised plans riverfront analysis would be attached to any future order of conditions by this commission.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? I think we're all set. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, where's my? Any minutes that we want to review and approve?
Don't look at me. Are you doing the June 14th?
No, I'm not doing them anymore. I'm done.
Wait a minute. 14th was
I've
still
moved
on.
up.
That was still under your.
He's gone.
Come off date. Do I need to?
Not for lack of trying, she sent them out a while back. Some of them, not all of them.
So no, I don't. I don't have any.
Yes, and before.
Well, what about the others?
There are still others that are.
All the other ones underneath you.
Are they?
Let's don't fight, gentlemen.
All right, I'll look into them for the next meeting.
Okay.
Double duty now.
I just sent a bunch of them out now. I'll look at the 14th one
Then I'll
too.
pass the baton.
Yeah, but you were official clerk for those other three, so.
Is that official?
Okay, before we can close, but I need some numbers for Sunday. 2,
This Sunday,
this is coming Sunday.
I'll have to get back to you,
Oh, Jesus.
because I thought it was next
Two or
week.
maybe 3.
You changed it from the following week, you moved it back a week?
For you, don't you remember?
No, I don't.
2, Peter.
But
David?
tentatively two.
2. Jim?
4.
4.
I'm gonna miss the oldest.
Which child are you leaving at home?
The oldest is going to camp.
Oh,
We're dropping her
Kayla's
off.
just gonna be devastated.
Oh, no, she'll be there. Oh,
Or
4.
she can hang out with the 2 boys.
she'll be fine.
She'll be thrilled.
Just one. My wife is off that day
Oh,
to Disney for a conference supposedly.
oh,
That's what she said.
okay. All righty.
So I'm gonna bring dessert, blueberry pies, raspberry rhubarb pie, all from the garden,
Oh, that sounds awful.
and something else.
Definitely be there
so-
for that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bring ice cream for the pies.
I think
too.
we should all bring desserts.
Hey, if everybody brings dessert, everybody eats dessert.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
What's the time again? What time?
It's Sunday,
That's right. What
Lucy
time?
Bob gets up at what, 8?
anytime after 10. We'll probably eat around 2. So,
I'll be using all my berries and rhubarb from the garden.
Awesome.
Good.
What are we doing with this?
And, she doesn't have directions.
Next meeting.
I see.
Oh,
I do. I have an address
okay.
Oh, okay.
and a GPS.
that's all we need now these days.
Yeah.
I don't know how we do without it.
Just as you go around the utility pole, it's a very sharp left coming down the driveway.
Okay.
You can miss it. You can miss it.
August 1st.
But we'll watch for
In
you.
GBS, I'll tell you.
But there's a sign there, is Delilah.
Okay.
Let's see. Goes with the pond to Sampson, so we have Delilah.
Oh, it's gonna sit in Delilah.
Corny, but effective. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Opposed? Anyone?
Oh,